Make the ground shake.
What's up, Spartans? This is JAG, aka Leonidas. You got 99 problems, but a host ain't one, coming at you live from 300. On today's video, I'm going to be showing you the best modern Royal deck to win that new 3-year Goblin birthday emote. So without further ado, I'm going to be showing you 3 videos. We're going to jump into why this deck is so powerful, and which I went 6-0, and how you can use it to win and get that emote as well. So first things first, let's go to show you the emote. As you can see here, it's the 3-year Goblin birthday emote for Clash Royale's 3-year anniversary. And as far as my deck, let's go to show you this as well. This is the deck I used here. As you can see, I have the Sparky, the Goblin Barrel, the Goblin Giant, the Bats, the Ewiz, the Log, Poison, and the oh my god, Goblin Gang. And so as you can see here, out of 6 wins, I think I got 3, which were 3-0, and then the other ones were 1-0, and as you can see right there. So, with before I jump into the 3 videos, which I have here actually, what I wanted to do was explain a little bit why this deck's so good. And the main reason is if you actually look at the accessible cards that you can build your deck from, there's very few things that can really stop the Sparky. There's no Rocket, there's no Lightning, there's no Zap. Really the only thing is the Ewiz, which can reset the Sparky, and you have kind of the Inferno Dragon, which if it's able to lock onto it early, then you'll be able to, but that's not too much of a worry. And I actually built my deck around countering the Ewiz, because I knew that would be one of the main issues that I'd have using this deck. But other than that, the deck worked flawlessly, and hopefully you'll be able to use it to win. So let's jump into this. We're going to go with video 3 to start off. I picked 3 different videos for the decks of different deck types that I faced, and a couple common ones. One common one, what you're going to see often, is either a combo of the Royal Giant with the Furnace, or the Mega Knight with the Furnace, and this one I'm actually going to show because it's a pretty good match, how to face that. Another one was, in this case, you're going to see is Sparky with a Goblin Giant, very similar to what I use, but with a Miner. A lot of people were using Miner that I noticed, and with other people sharing the videos as well that I saw. And then the final one was, like I said, kind of like a Furnace with a Miner. This deck I've noticed from other replays that Clanmate shared was pretty popular as well. So let's jump into the first one here and kind of show you how you can end up using this to win and get that emote before it runs out, the challenge. So we're going to put this on double speed just because I want to get through 3 videos fairly quickly. What you're going to see here is we have the combo of the Bar Barrel and the Log with the Poison. Very deadly for taking out that Furnace there. You can either drop the Poison or you can drop the Bar Barrel like you saw me do. If you get anything with the Ram there, the Battle Ram, you can just use the Ewiz. That stops it very easily. Also, the Sparky can work well. Unfortunately there, I wasn't able to actually get the Sparky to hit that tower. But you see, there's a lot of options also to take out the Dark Goblin, which is a pretty common and good card that people have been using, but that's why we've got the Log and the Bar Barrel. And you're really just going to be dropping that Sparky from the back end, and ideally the goal is to drop that Goblin Giant in front of it. As you saw there, that's how one way you can actually stop the Mega Knight there, is just by dropping that Goblin Giant a little bit to the center of your side of the field, but a little to the right, so he actually goes to the right, and then the Mega Knight just ends up following him in that case. And as you're going to see here, I'm actually going to be able to drop the Log again, get a little bit of damage, and then continue on from there. So as we're going in double elixir, I'm going to actually slow this down to the 1 speed here, and give you a little bit slow down time so you can actually see what's going on. So if you see, a lot of people were using these as well with those little zappies there, and the Furnace. A Poison works perfect if you can get both of them at the tower and get a lot of bang for buck in that case. Goblin Gang as well is also great for stopping the Ram as long as you have nothing backing it that can take them out. As you saw, every time I get that Mega Knight dropped on one side, I just kind of drop the Goblin Giant. Really drags it over. Makes it easy because that Sparky's in behind that can kind of just tank it and take it out. And the nice, beautiful thing about this deck is even if you can't get the Sparky at the tower, you're going to be able to get the Poison. A lot of time, if they have a Furnace or something like that, you're just going to consistently get damage on that tower over and over. So even if it's a defensive battle, you're slowly going to make it there. And that's what you're going to see mostly in this one. Another option as well is the Goblin Giant. Pretty strong, can take quite a bit of damage before really dying, and it can get to that tower, and even if it gets 1-2 hits, then that's more than enough, and that's really what you want. And then, like I said earlier, back up that Sparky behind, or back up the Goblin Giant with the Sparky behind it, and it's going to do some pretty major damage. As far as the E-Wiz goes, you really kind of have to delay your Sparky a little bit just so it can stop it, and then you're going to want to use the Bar Barrel or maybe like the Goblin Gang to kind of protect in that case. The log's great in this. You're going to see it looks kind of like I'm done for, but one log is able to take out pretty much the majority of the troops there, and I don't take too much damage in this case, especially with bats, which are a cheap elixir troop that can kind of back them up. So in this case, I have both towers pretty well whittled down. My tower is about the same as his second one on the left there. And again, he just keeps dropping that furnace, which I don't understand why, because at one point, you know I'm just going to keep dropping the poison, and even if it's just the furnace for the poison, for me, I've always found that positive elixir, even though it's technically even, I find it's always a positive trade in my case. I get damage on the tower, furnace is going to maybe get 2 fire spirits out there, which I can use something else to really block them, and I'm still then able to back up my whole troop push kind of at the same time. So again, you're just going to see me use the Goblin Gang here, stops the Battle Ram very easily, dropping the bats behind. People like to use the logs, really doesn't stop the bats too much. And then I have the log, which I'm able to cycle fairly quickly. And in this case, it's just going to be, we're going to, you know, speed this up and just finish this off. But you're going to see me, again, do the same thing where I'm going to be able to get the giant goblin at the tower and the poison at the same time with the log. And you're going to have lots of win conditions in this deck, which you have your poison, you've got your log as well, goblin giant, and you know what, Sparky, just use defensively, and if it ends up going to the tower, that's great in that point. So that's how you face kind of the Furnace Mega Knight combo. So we're going to jump into the second deck. Let's see, second video that I faced, which one was this? Yeah, so this was a very similar deck to mine, which is going to be a Sparky Goblin Giant as well. And that's not too bad. Whenever you're facing a deck kind of like your own, you're really going to have to think about what cards they have and how to kind of counter it. It's kind of like in the mirror deck challenges, if anyone remembers those. But in any case, I didn't know beginning that he had the same deck, but I do find out later, and then I kind of accommodate for that Sparky, and as you're going to see in the beginning, the Sparky gets me, but we'll make a comeback in that case. So let's speed this up a little bit, just to get into that first video. Here you're going to see a Goblin Giant combo, trying to use the bats to do a little bit of damage, Goblin Gang, try and take out that Dark Goblin. Here you're going to see a little bit of damage come to hit my tower. The Wizard, or the E-Wiz, is great for stopping the Sparky, and that's what you're going to need because you're probably going to be facing a Sparky deck, so that's why this one works so well on top of it. And then just with the combo of the log and the Bar Barrel, you can just kind of roll through a bunch of mass troops at once and do a lot of damage. So in this case, you're actually going to see me drop that Giant Goblin because I knew that Sparky was going to be coming, and that was basically what I was trying to do. I get a Sparky hit on that tower, and then from here, we're just going to, you know what, I'm actually going to let go to double elixir. I'm going to get that 3 crown. At this point, all I have to do, keep doing is the same thing. I see that Goblin Giant go down, drop that Sparky at the end, and it gets a little bit repetitive with this deck. You'll have to accommodate, especially when you take out one tower like this side. I'm surprised to drop the Sparky in there because I could just drop my E-Wiz. And even if you took the E-Wiz out like he did, I had the Goblin Gang, which again is a great troop for stopping the Sparky. And from here, it's just the poison, drop that Goblin Giant, and the log, and boom. Game done and matched. So we're going to move on to actually the first one, because that one was also a common deck archetype that I saw a lot of times people were using. So I wanted to get to it as well, just to try and keep this as short as possible, but still so you're able to see. And on this one, he unfortunately wasn't able to get the Mega Knight out, but I wanted to kind of show how you can stop the Inferno Dragon, basically, with the E-Wiz as well. Kind of give more examples so you guys can hopefully get that emote and finish the challenge. So, same thing, Sparky right off the bat, I believe so. But I think I was waiting a little bit on this case just to see if he would make the first move. With this deck, it's not necessarily too important to make the first move or make the second move. It's not too much of an issue. Once I found out he has the Inferno Dragon after this, you can use bats to back up, but in this case I was, yeah, I missed that he was there on the miner, but that's alright. I was hoping to drop it a little bit closer so it could actually shock the Inferno and then get the miner after that. So what you can see, like I said here, you can just use the poison on the inferno, or on the furnace, and it really comes out as a positive trade-off, and at least in my opinion. Some people might argue, but I've always noticed that my win percentage is higher when I do that. In any case, in this one, I'm just going to drop the bats there. I'm going to probably drop that Goblin Giant right at the front, kind of drop him behind. In this case, you're going to see the Inferno go down again, which I'm going to drop Goblin Gang, and that way you can kind of really take them out easily doing that. I noticed he was a little bit lower on Elixir, so this worked out as a positive change for me. Dropping those bats in is great, especially with there's no zap. It's a huge advantage for you to drop bats and have them in your deck, mainly because if they say they even had arrows, you're still getting up 1 elixir, and I can't remember even if there are arrows in these deck options. But again, here's just on the defensive, and this point is kind of, it's going to be game over, mainly just because of that furnace move at that point. And then free miner as well. So you're going to see here, Goblin Giant finishing it off with the Sparky coming in behind, and then all the backs and just the spam troops of the goblins. This is just going to be finished at this point. I think he just gave up at the end here, because you could tell it was pretty much over. So hopefully this is going to be the end of the video. Hopefully this helps you guys to get that win, get the emote as well. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. I appreciate all the views and all the people who have subbed as well. And this is going to be Leonidas signing off. Peace out. See you guys.